Fear is one of our most primal emotions. This emotion is ultimately designed to keep us alive, to be wary of danger, and to look for ways to protect ourselves in moments of extraordinary peril. By early in the year 1110, the entire kingdom of Valandia was in a state of fear and brooding gloom. Repeated savage and seemingly unstoppable invasions had forced them into a small corner of the lands in the northwest of Calradia. Terrifying foes from the north and the south invaded their lands and ruthlessly executed the rules of war. All of this was made much worse by the malice that each of the ruling households now held for each other. King Aserai hated House Aromac. Prince Ingalther was jealous the power King Aserai wielded, despite considerable incompetence. Meanwhile, Baron York despised all of these weak and vacillating lords. King's councils were no longer even called, as Aserai hated all advice, seeing it as a confirmation of his own ineptitude. Instead, the noble households of Valandia retreated into their shells. The medieval castle was the last bastion against evil, protecting their lords from attackers and giving them one last respite amid the chaos and fear. Unfortunately, each of the noble households also began more and more to seek the assistance of the darker agents of Calradia. These guilds also plied their trades in each city, but their craft was espionage, and their finest art, murder. Their names were like childhood nightmares to the residents of each city. The Red Hands, the Knighthoods, Rovalt's Rotten Forgotten. No one was sure what would happen with the power struggle inside Valandia, but everybody was sure of one thing. It was going to be bloody. Out of our way, fellas, right? We're leading the way. More and more, Baron York just doesn't give a shit. Maybe it'll cost him his life someday, but for now, he's going to lead the way here. Right with the vanguard. There's a Varangian right at the top of the ladder. You still get killed with a javelin in the eyeball, dude. You're not that tough. Meanwhile, we'll pull some infantry up here. I've got a nice little escape hatch. And very quickly, we're going to conquer these walls here. Now, there's no fire catapults here. I thought we'd have a few. We can still use our javelins to good effect. We're still using our crossbow occasionally during siege, but with so many different enemy counter siege, right? We've more and more started just to truncate that portion of the campaign. I know some guys are probably disappointed about that, but this is just the way the campaign has gone. I think it's a casualty of the reinforcement system, right? Because if you have to anticipate the enemy pouring in, having crossbow against a huge sallying force of cavalry is not real effective. Now these guys, it really does look like they're running from Baron York, right? He roared in and they all tried to squeeze out the door like a bunch of Winnie the Pooh that forgot their honey, right? They're literally running away from Baron York. These guys literally look like they are cowering at the back of this tower. So some nice little role-playing aspect of it here, right? Baron York has become quite the menace. He's known to put needles underneath the fingers of his defeated foes and draw and quarter them and the bronze bull and all the other horrific tortures. Baron York definitely rules via fear. Looks like they're sallying back now. We just need to apply a little bit more Baron York pressure here. And this Northern Empire force is going to melt away. Now, Oxhall is not a very defendable city. I don't think we'll get voted this, but this is not a city I really want. Now, that said, Rovault is not very defendable either, but more than likely, Aserai the Thief is going to vote himself this city, unless somehow we get reinforcements here, like at the last second in this battle. This siege does look like it's going to be ours. Look at this guy, he's having like a seizure here, trying to throw rocks. And sometimes you just have nothing else to say, right? Sometimes during these sieges, a lot of these sieges, I know they're going to be routine. You don't always know, but I've got a pretty good idea. If any reinforcements come into this battle, it's probably going to be ours. And that is a really interesting consideration with the reinforcement system. You have to think about where you are when you're attacking. Right now, we're surrounded by other Vlandian cities, other Vlandian units, nobles, etc. So it's a lot more likely that if there are reinforcements in this battle, it actually helps us. When we go either to the Highlands arena, which is what I want to do, or the Aserai territory, if somehow we have war with them, we're going to have a higher likelihood of enemy reinforcements, right? And you as the commander, this reinforcement system changes that. And it's very realistic, right? When Napoleon invaded Bavaria and shit like that, when he invaded Italy, you have to be aware of enemy reinforcements much more so than when you're, just defending parts of France. And of course, most of the time, Napoleon was offensive, right? He wasn't defensive very often. Get myself in a little bit of trouble here. With this kind of athleticism, it just doesn't matter. Carves through some of these guys here. Some obstinate Northern Empire forces. They finally just broke, and Oxhall is ours. We got a few javelins here for the spines of these fleeing troops. Baron York heard that there was a noble in the Khazate Empire that was more of a war criminal than he was. He was highly offended that he was knocked from #1 on the rankings boards. So he's explicitly told his troops to just grapple the enemy troops so that he can throw javelins into their back while they're retreating. And just a giant pile of carcasses. I swear there are Southern Empire shields there. That must just be the light. There's no way there's Southern Empire here, and we're not at war with the Southern Empire. It's really weird. The flags there look like they're Southern Empire too. I don't know. Maybe it's just the lighting. The real-time lighting mod that we're using sometimes gets a little bit wonky with colors. Sometimes at nighttime, like a battle goes from day to night, and the colors get a little bleached, especially if you have an overnight battle. It does some funny things here, but I swear that's purple. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that purple? I see purple. That looks like a purple shield. That looks purple for sure. And that looks pink, right? Those look different. So I'm perplexed. Call me perplexed. But the Northern Empire owns this city, not the Southern Empire. I don't know, unless I really am confused here. But in any case, now we own this city, right? Now it's ours. All right, so retreated to the inner keep here. We'll probably just auto-resolve that. Gaining some more levels here. And stupid. Some guys will probably laugh at me, especially if it doesn't work out. But it's just like an investment in real life here. We're going to gather whatever resources we can here, shove them in the warehouses at Rovault, and see if it makes us some money here. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. We're looking for quarters underneath the mistress's cloak and stuff like that. We've got a decent amount, though, of silver. We can take this helmet and sell that. Baron York likes his new helmet. He likes his stainless steel razor blade helmet. And see Oxhall. Oh, look at this shit. We finally get a city. Oxhall we just took, and we get it here. So take that, Alari, you bitch. We get ourselves a city, and you don't. We're really getting broke here, where our influence is low. It's been a difficult struggle, to say the least, but we're going to try to work our way through this, finagle our way through this. Now, it's close to revolting. That'll suck if as soon as we get voted a city, it rebels, but it is what it is. So buy some additional silk here. We'll dump this helmet, make 40 grand, and then I think they have both the velvet. Is it velvet? No, I don't have any silver. I have silk, and I have lots of. Yeah, this is gonna work. Perfect. All right, so silk, and lots of grapes here. And these warehouses, we got some sweatshops going here, right? We're going to work these guys hard, dump those into the warehouse, and very quickly we should be turning a nice profit at some point or other. In fact, look at that shit. Our workshop income is greater than our settlement income, and we need it, right? Because we just inherited the garrison at Oxhall. Actually, Baron York, ironically, doesn't need troops, so we need combat now. Now we have to expand. Now we have to start winning some battles here. Otherwise, we're simply going to go broke. All these troops are expensive, and we need some success. At this stage, of course, we'll do one of these intros. Let's see, how do we do this here? you know, it's been a slog for sure, right? We've really been struggling here, and this is one of the nemesis characters here, right? I don't know how to pronounce that, but a fellow said that was a skald of historical Nordic, Norse, Viking heritage. Let's do an intro here. Welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related. It's dedicated to this Vlandian campaign. Even though we have been punched into a corner like an old Muhammad Ali, we've taken several uppercuts, but we're bobbing and weaving here, and we're ready for our 11th round comeback. Now we have an army sieging, and we have an ally here, ironically. We are at war, I should have said, with the Northern Empire. Let's do a diplomacy look here. We're at war with the Northern Empire, but they're also at war with the Aserai. So this is one of the benefits. It's kind of a balancing thing the game has. Even though we're paying the Aserai a fortune, we paid them for peace. They are now fighting one of our enemies here, right? So it's a little easier to fight your enemy when they're also putting up their dukes against somebody else. We acquired, just a minute ago, we acquired Oxhall. This city, we just took this city maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days ago, sieged that city down, and now Baron York has a hometown again, right? He would prefer Revolt still. He's looking spiffy with his nice army here. We've also got some financial problems, so we're doing some warehouse work, right? We're filling all our warehouses with all the extra spare goods that Baron York has been hoarding. There's a mist and a fog, of course, up in the Highlands arena, and we're going back to the Highlands arena, right? We need more victory is the key, right? The way that I make money when I play Bannerlord, I mean, besides the workshops, right? They're actually making 3,000 a day. That's pretty good. But the way that I make money is combat. So Baron York here, damn. Well, we just lost our ally here against the Northern Empire. I guess that's okay. That just means more Northern Empire for us to fight. And of course, that's the way I was trying to say it 4 different times before I interrupt myself. That's how I make money in Bannerlord. All that loot, all that pillage, and right on schedule here. Lantenor is volunteering to give us all of their bent glaives and beat up armor here after we throttle them. And we're going to use this little Vlandian force here sieging as bait, right? We'll just wait till they engage, and then we will slam in here the proverbial trap on this Northern Empire force. Our army's in pretty good shape here. We can do some last-minute upgrades. We still have a fair bit of brigands. You can see, in fact, almost all of our prisoners that we're recruiting are sea raiders and stuff like that. We've got the right banner composition here, and who knows how this will go, right? These forces, these Northern Empire forces, yep, consistently very, very powerful armies. Our army is starting to upgrade, though. You see some of the stuff I use here for some of the cutscenes, right? We do a little bit of editing sometimes, of course. But obviously, this whole campaign we are playing on Bannerlord difficulty. So that's more troops than I thought was here. I don't know, maybe there's some other... Oh, it's the garrison. So the garrison is sallying out here as well. So this is a battle, right? This is a battle we can lose. And the aforementioned reinforcement system is engaged still. We're going to run with that the rest of the campaign. I don't know, maybe by episode 40 or something like that, I'll stop saying the reinforcement system is part of the process here. Now, we have allies rushing forward, so let's use them, right? They can be the distractionary force. We're right at the edge of the map here. We're going to race over to this right side. Why? Because there's elevational spots here for us to shoot down on the whole battlefield. It's a great spot to command. In fact, the enemy's taking a defensive position. Bad decision. We can get all of our forces protected as well inside this little dell, right? We could tuck archer or crossbow divisions down there. Then we can have them roar out with cav support, bring in infantry flanks, and obliterate them. Now, they don't have very many archers. In fact, I can't see how many archers they have. It looks like they're all gummed up there with their infantry. They have a ton of cavalry, so we're going to take a ranged approach here. Again, this is not Baron York's optimal army type. He would prefer more meat, more infantry, more cavalry. Although we do have a good amount of infantry, it's a pretty balanced army. And Baron York likes a cavalry-heavy army, right? We role play with that. Now, I got 3 different cav divisions. The first and third are infantry divisions, and I'm just going to put them in different locations so that we can attack the enemy depending on what they do here. The AI, of course, is slamming itself in. The proverbial crash test dummy. Look at, they're just running uphill into that huge blob of troops. That's what all the death is. In Galther, I didn't even realize he was here. He just got melted. Hopefully he got killed in combat. Fucking sack of shit in Galther. Baron York hates Ingalter, probably more than any other fucking unit in the game. The guy fucking consistently votes against everything we want, whether it's a city, a policy, whatever it is. Sack of shit. Of course, we're role-playing as well. He's trying for the kingship, right? Aserai is too stupid to remain the king of Valandia forever. Baron York clearly thinks he's the best candidate. He's the most ruthless, that's for sure. All right, so just jockeying a little bit, we actually have shield and shock on both these wings, right? The 1st Division is next to the 2nd Cavalry Division in the center here. And if they charge into our infantry, I've just got them back there ready to go. Look at all those guys. They're like, send us in, boss. Over here, we just have this, I think it's the 8th Division, and then we have the 3rd Division of infantry. Again, same thing, ready to charge, right? They charge those lines. And basically, if they don't come through the lines, I don't charge. In other words, you see how we're pounding them at range. Right now, we're winning this stalemate, even though the AI is being dumb here with their archers. Our archers are working. Of course, we put them in good position. These guys have nasty angles, and the enemy looks like they've had enough sparring, which translates to we were whipping their ass, and so they've switched to southpaw, right, the boxing analogy. All right, let's flank these fucks here. Their infantry's coming up. We haven't really got to use them on their cavalry, although soon we're going to charge with these 2 infantry divisions. Heavy blows are coming here as their commander says, kill them all. Now we could charge with the 1st. I want to shove cavalry in the face of their archers, so we'll try to push those guys through. The 1st Division can charge. And over here, this 3rd Division can just bore in, right? It's boring into the enemy's flank. We're being charged here a little bit by infantry, so here's how you deal with that, right? I do have a whole extra division, this 8th Division. Stick to me, and we'll just drive these guys right through here, right? Between charging cavalry and archers shooting at them, these infantrymen here are fucked. They're also getting flanked by the 1st Division as they kind of scatter shot every which direction. And I like the setup we got here. Now, the enemy has a bunch of Varangians, which is, you know, can't stop it. I wish it was only the Sturgeons. It's basically like the Norse now are selling out their troops to all the different kingdoms. But I presume that the Sturgeons will have more Varangians than anybody else, right? They have most of the former Sturgeon cities, which is, of course, where they recruit those troops. Just to reiterate, too, we're not going to be using them, at least not in our own army. Even though some of our vassals probably will have 2, 3, 4, a little sprinkling here and there. All right, look at this shit. Our crossbow is just, they're expelling every bolt without being attacked. That turns them into infantry. In fact, we can use one of them in a defensive square now. I think we'll do that in this battle just to illustrate their versatility. Amazing how well they survive, right? You can stick 30 or 40 crossbow, especially sharpshooters, in a square, and they'll survive a long time, distracting the enemy, eating arrows, etc. Now, I'm not thrilled about where we are right here. We're now charging to where their reinforcements are. There's a hill there where we can't get line of sight. I like this scrum in the center here. This is good. But I would rather pull our units back and basically keep them concentrated. If your units charge too far ahead, the proverbial word for it in the gaming world is they are overextended. Man, you fuckers. Thank God for good armor. Thank you, God. All right. Helping me kill, God. I appreciate your help in helping me kill, God. Let's bring this 2nd Division up. The enemy cav is totally in our backfield here. That's making me uncomfortable. They're cutting down our reinforcements before we even get them to the battle scene. We're going to have to do some work back here. We can, in fact, use that square right now. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Let's give the enemy, let's give the enemy a square here to chew on. I'm losing a horse every battle, and I swear we got that horse some good ammo, too. I don't understand it. I mean, maybe it took a direct shot right there. I am prone to getting my horses when I jump, right? I like to jump out of hazard. Get the fuck off. I told you to get off. You know, I like to jump out of hazard with my horse. That saves Baron York, and then, of course, you get drilled. Your horse gets drilled while it's jumping. Can't be good for its face and neck. All right, let's see here. I got tons of crossbow, weak crossbow probably coming in here, so we'll start to form a little C-shaped pattern here, a little tiny kill box at the edges of the map here. We're really being pushed into a corner here, and the enemy cavalry is highly pursuant here. A lot of times they sort of fall back here. I don't know. The AI is just hell-bent on cutting down all of our units in a total death-suicide charge. You fuckers. I mean, it's actually good strategy, right? Don't let the archer set up, right? If you're the AI. We got our square, though, now, right? Let's start shoving this square forward. That should distract a lot of attention. It should also be a target for archers. Let's pull that companion out of here. Pull our companions back. And I like our setup at least now. The AI is still barreling forward. Some of these are our infantrymen. It's fine just to have infantry on charge, right? At least they're trying to kill something. Don't just stand there, kill something. Meanwhile, we can have that 5th Division. Shit, almost got hit there. We can have that 5th Division cover this high. These guys are so aggressive towards Baron York. I don't know if the AI has changed or what, but I swear the AI is getting better at targeting my unit. Sixth. Let's keep moving the 6th up. Keep moving up. Look at that. It's just it's like a battleship in the middle of the battlefield, right? It's a bastion of safety. It anchors our infantry. It's a target for all these javelins and arrows, and the other 80% of us can kill, right? You designate 20%. It's like a NFL or a football match, right? European football, where you've got 7 players on offense and 3 or 4 on defense, right? You got to have some defenders, and of course in Bannerlord, your squares is the best defense. They don't have any more crossbow bolts, right? So it's just a really good way to use them multi-purpose too. We start moving our archers up here, but I like what I see here. 111 doesn't die. I mean, these units are nasty. And another gnarly battle. I mean, strap yourself in, right, fellas? I didn't say it at the beginning of these. I could say that for every battle for this campaign. Between the different mods we're using, between the reinforcement system, in fact, more enemy forces are joining, right? You just never know. And this is why we continue to fight in this manner, right? I continue to fight almost every battle like it's the last battle. And it's fun for me, of course. I love the stress and strain of it. And hopefully it makes it more entertaining for you guys, knowing that every single battle could be the battle that Baron York gets killed, right? I like to reinforce that thought in your head. It's absolutely a possibility, right? We have the Death for All cranked. And of course, we've been losing units, as has the enemy. We lost Durther, right? Durther got killed in battle. All right, we're starting to send infantry, but right down the center towards our infantry line and square. Just tell them to move that square forward and shove it in the enemy's face. We've got all of these archers here beautifully positioned. If I humbly say so myself here, they're just untouched, right? And they are just dispelling and also known as discharging arrows until they're out of ammo, right? Without really getting attacked, you can't get a much better positioning for your archers here. Which is why, of course, at the beginning of the battle, we started racing for those hills. There's a famous Napoleon battle where the same thing. He identified an amazing spot for his troops and his artillery, and he dashed there. Basically, he distracted the enemy, pretended like he wasn't interested in it, and then just absolutely rolled up that location. Prancing Heights and at the Battle of Austerlitz. Often considered his best battle. I tend to disagree. Some of his early battles were a lot more tactically genius. I digress. We don't need to have a Napoleonic battle argument here in the middle of this battle. But look at this shit. This is so beautiful. Cavalry is behind me following. You could just hear the sound of those guys. And you know what that sound is? Killing. When you have a 250 crossbow, even if they don't have a shield and they're those lower level, it's still killing, right? Those guys are just spraying the enemy from the flank. A lot of them are hitting, on the other side of their shield, right? There is no defense for that many bolts. And now Baron York can embrace his inner Rambo here and just wade in. Right? Fuck you guys. Start cutting guys down. We're not gaining any more EXP in endurance or two-handed for the skills. Look at these guys just smoked up here. But we are gaining EXP, right? Baron York continues to gain levels at a rapid pace, and this kind of shit helps. So they have some troops kind of on the other side of this hill, but this fucking battle is all but over. Baron York gets on his fucking violence, killing them every single way. It's like a porn star. He kills in every position with his spear, with his horse, with the one-handed, switch to two-handed, and just cut all these peasants to ribbons. It's again, we've got aid now just to finish these guys off. They've got like an archer charge It's probably because they can't see, right? They don't have line of sight. And Baron York likes archers up close. Die, he says. Just a lethal machine, right? He's obviously not Wazuban or Zuvan or any of the other incredible characters we've used before, but it's pretty lethal. I mean, it's hard to watch this and not say he's lethal. And of course, you guys are out there probably doing the exact same thing. Got a handful of last troops here as we roll through these Northern Empire forces. And this is exactly the kind of battle we needed, right? We needed a successful win here to get the money train rolling, to get the influence train rolling, right? My lord, more enemies are approaching. A hillman is telling me more enemies are approaching. Skolderbrother joined the battle as an enemy. So the enemy's not giving up yet. They've got a couple hundred troops at the edge of the margin. We charge, right? Let's attack them before they get spread out. In fact, a lot of our units are just peasants barreling forward. We're walking, trotting over the carcasses of all the guys that have already died in this battle. And that's a bad death span right there. It seems they're joining the enemy forces. Well, buckle up, right? You just every single battle. Let's go ahead and split this second division. I don't know if they have any ammo left. We gotta hope they have some. It says they have none. But at least we're gonna get some of these guys on the flank here. Stick that third division out to the enemy's left. Even if they're infantry only. Now it says they have ammo. Those guys are gonna now shoot on the enemy's flank. We've got cavalry charging here on our right, or our left. And unless, now there's more. A caravan is joining the battle. What the fuck? You guys, as usual, you've noticed the power bar has disappeared. I am guilty of glancing up at it from time to time, and I'm just going to do this in most significant battles from now on. I've gotten a few guys that aren't thrilled about it. One guy said he didn't like it, but then he thought it was great for suspense, which maybe he's got a sensitive system, right? He doesn't want all the drama, but we're going to roll with it, right? I am the content creator, and unless something was like unanimous or you guys just hated it, I think we're going to keep it. I think it's great for the unknown. This battle is hardly over. They're charging in with banner knights. They've obviously got a lot of troops because the death span looks bad. And we're, in a slugfest here in the 12th round. Kill these boys. These archers are spraying the side. Now we can have them charge. They're probably out of ammo. Here they come. You lost your horse, dude. Now you lost your head, and in comes Baron York, right? Still got half a health bar. Fucking loving it, man. Good armor and a decrease taken melee attack damage banner. And Baron York he is a beast. Now it looks like they're finished. They gave a good hearty struggle here at the end. In fact, they have a huge wedge of tough infantry at the back here, but they are thoroughly surrounded by peasants. They're losing their heads at a fast rate here, and a little medieval pounding here to end this battle and to start this episode. Get a little horse here, take an overview of the battle, make sure that we're not getting backdoored by hundreds of enemy troops, and the beautiful feeling of victory here. And Baron York is celebrating victories more than ever, right? I'll tell you, this is fellas, this is like when you get older, when you have a 6-month stretch in the weight room and you gain a bunch of muscle. When you're 25 and you go want to gain muscle, you fucking dial it up like Instacart. Yes, I would like to gain 15 pounds of muscle. You work out and you gain it. When you hit my age, man, you're thrilled when you're healthy enough to gain muscle over 6 months because of all the little health things that comes up, right? I've had some health scares and some injuries, bronchitis in the past 3 months. I'm a very healthy fella, but I'm still getting old, right? Older anyways. When you start getting older, man, I tell you what, you look at the times where you're healthy and you say, thank you, thank goodness I was healthy. There's lots of quotes basically talking about it. One of them is like youth and something like that. I can't remember the exact, I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically the beauty of youth is lost on the youth, right? That, of course, when you're young, you don't really even understand the concept of age and the deterioration that occurs as we age. And obviously we all age differently, but give or take, in the next 100 years, we're all dust, right? So enjoy those years before you're dust, before you get blown away by a strong breeze. Get out there, weightlift some, gather some muscle now, make your savings account start to grow early on. We will continue to help you guys at Bannerlord and also philosophically around the margins of life, right? Eat your Big Mac and Coke right now while you're 25, and then when you're 35, man, please start eating some good food, right? Develop good eating habits. Trust me, you will thank me in 25 years, right? To make an example, have your other friends go to McDonald's and drink Cokes, and then you start eating healthy and go to the gym, and then remember this conversation if you can. You'll probably remember they won't because they drank all that Coke. 20 years from now, see how you're doing, see how they're doing. I'm willing to bet you're going to be in a better spot. Now this is occurring, right? We're getting larger and larger bandits, and I am controlling this with a mod. We're going to do this and ramp it up with the length of this campaign. It's a mod called Adjustable Bandits. I think these bandit armies might get upwards of 500. So what we're simulating here is, look at, they're capturing people left and right. Look at that red down there. That's beautiful. We're making good money here in our workshops. 3,400. I'm starting to feel better about money. But look at all that shit. Captured by the looters, captured by the rebels. In fact, it's beautiful. These are rebels that rebelled at Rotai, and they're captured by the looters. So you have total carnage in the lands of Calradia right now, and that's basically intentional. That's by design. I want to simulate essentially that society is starting to fray around the edges here as these Vlandian households fight and argue with each other. Law and order starts to become a little bit more of a rare thing, and you get these larger and larger bandit parties that are causing carnage. It's capturing nobles. It killed nobles in combat, right? It captured Baron York, potentially. So we're going to have to tread carefully, especially when we don't have a large army. And this does perfectly simulate the medieval era where people really did travel in groups, because to travel alone on the highway was a sure way to get robbed, raided, and or killed. So a little quick siege here. This should be pretty quick here at Car Banseth. I don't know how much I'll narrate through this, just because barring some reinforcements here, should be a pretty quick siege, although the Northern Empire forces are already starting to stack up outside here. We just lost a bunch of forces too. Of course, we're being captured in Galther. You talk about a sequence of events. And now where are they going? Lamcard party. What the fuck are you doing over here? Lamcard's army. Defending Car Banseth. I mean, the minor clan deserts us, and Lamcard traveling to attack Core Castle. You gotta look at this shit. Traveling to attack Core Castle to besiege. What are you doing? Come and help us. That's like on the other side of the map. I mean, what in the fuck is going on here? Look, he got killed in battle. Lamcard. So he illustrates Darwinism perfectly here. Dipshit. Instead of helping us or sieging, a castle that's not on the other side of the map, this guy forms... It's so comical, I can't even say it. He forms an army, gets captured, he gets killed in combat. Our minor clan deserts us, and now our minor clan is running around with the enemy. I mean, you got to be shitting me. Talk about a series of bad events and treason. You normally don't see that, right? A minor clan leave and then join the enemy. They're now roaming about. Probably will attack us here while we make this final assault here. We do have a wall down. I've got a fire catapult. I like some of the other variables here, but that was unbelievable. Attacked, deserted. The militia springs up out of the ground. Now they're ready to fight for Car Banseth. A second ago they were rebelling. Now they want to fight. And in we go here, feeling rather shaken. Baron York's confidence is starting to waver a little bit. Now, this is, where's the hole? We blew a hole. Here we go. They were nice enough even to build us a ramp over here on the left. So we're going to sweep through the city, from the right, or from the left to the right. Traditional stuff here. Marco, you're going to lead the second. You got the hardest job, right? You guys will be some of the first guys over the trenches. And we need to get some of these captains assigned here. This is not going to be an easy siege, but I'm actually more worried about the reinforcements, right? 1,000 troops, but a lot of them are militia. We should be able to pound a hole, but I've got to defend every single one of these sieges like you expect to be attacked, right? There's that other Northern Empire army out there. We already destroyed one, but there might be more. So you anticipate being attacked, and we don't count on Vlandian reinforcements, right? Because our army just got destroyed. Now that's going to work. That fire catapult is going to be able to shell the guys in that little hole. So we will bait them. Let's get first, second, and fifth. What the fuck is that? It's like, I thought it was like a bug on my screen. I think those are birds, and it's just landed in the air. So, some not terrific special effects there. It doesn't really help immersion if the birds are floating through the air like apparitions. Now look at this shot. Come on, baby. All right, not bad, not bad. They glancing blow. Hopefully they can get more accurate that shot. And look, I can put the 5th archers right here. And these guys are just going to smoke these guys in that hole. And as long as our trebuchet gets dialed, or our fire catapult gets dialed in here, we're going to rack up the kills. Now, I want to start setting up units for defense, right? This is just how you have to play. There you go, boys. I didn't see it, but I saw the death spam. You have to basically prepare every single siege like there's a good possibility of being attacked. For those who are curious, we had the reinforcement settings are 70 for the radius, 70 for the likelihood of enemies and allies joining. In other words, a fairly nice shot, boys. A fairly large area for reinforcements to come in. See if we can't. Well, that didn't intimidate anybody. There's a lot of guys here. I gotta get out of here before I get flamed. Go, boy. All right. You want, a good amount of reinforcements to come in. You want a good likelihood that they're going to join if they think they can win, right? You don't want reinforcements only joining when they can win, because then you'll have very predictable battles. So basically, the 70-70-70 settings that I've found means that reinforcements are often going to join, get stuck here, but they're also going to not join if it's like no chance of winning, if that makes sense, right? You want them to take a little bit of a chance. Think about it from the campaign perspective. What if reinforcements only joined, or more accurately, what if enemy armies only attacked you if they were certain of victory? Damn it, out of my way. It would be, a lot less interesting game, right? You want a little bit of variability there, because just like a human person, a human opponent, they should make mistakes, right? AI should have a little variability. Otherwise, you feel like you're playing, Jet Li, the AI computer general who never loses, and we all rage quit, throw our mouse. And that's the shot I need there. So we're just going to speed through some of this. I'm just going to immolate, another 60 or 80 troops. The AI is nice enough to, as soon as you kill the troops there, they fill the gap, and just like a conveyor belt of death, put more troops there. Another shot or two here, and we will jump on our horse and start blowing through this siege. So reinforcements are probable. I would say it's 50-50, maybe a little higher. But, of course, we're starting to blow through them. And again, we'll mention the old power bar thing here. If I haven't remembered, probably going to remove this in the after editing, right? We just slide the screen up, and that's the last you ever see of it. Because if there's a chance we get attacked, I don't want you to know, right? Whether or not we have no chance of winning, or victory is certain, or it's going to be close. I want you guys in a little stage of suspense. You guys are probably sick of me talking about it, but just understand that dynamic continues here. We're going to shove right in here, right? We've blown away all the shields. Now there's nothing but shock troops here and a handful of militia. We're just going to blast right through this and hopefully sweep through this city, right? Car Banseth won't be voted for us, right? The Baron already got Oxhall. They almost never give you 2 or 3 cities, especially this rapacious lord that we're with, Aserai here, right? Where this guy is greedy as fuck. He's avaricious. He's not just rapacious. Now, I've got most of my archers on hold fire, right? First, I don't need them. There's nothing to shoot at, but you just anticipate reinforcements here. That doesn't mean we're going to, sit here and wait for the enemy, though. If we could take the city quickly, jump right over all these guys right here, blow into the courtyard, the city should be ours. The timing of the reinforcement system, I also used the default 5. So the reinforcements don't get here instantly, but they also don't take forever. So there's a little level of realism to it. Baron York is just a savage mofo when it comes to militia. Dismembered, cut his head off. And we're going to help our guys blow a hole here into the courtyard. Once we get established, it should be Butchery City here. Now, the Northern Empire must have other locations. Takor Castle's interesting. Of course, that's about the only hint I get of the Fog of War, because we don't zoom out, right? You guys are obviously aware of the Fog of War. We're running for this campaign, and without seeing what the Northern Empire have, I don't know how far their realm stretches to the east, right? Takor Castle, if I remember right, is like Sturgeon. It's kind of near Balgard or maybe Omor or somewhere in there. Oh, shit. Get these archers into the corner. We just got reinforcements that spawned right on top of us. Let's protect these crossbow with charge with the other 2 visions here. But I have no idea, basically, how big or strong the Northern Empire is. Just to sort of summarize here, while we truck this city, not too exciting, right? We're just blasting through militia with high-end troops. bunch of sad-looking militia getting pounded here. The Battanian militia in this war campaign, they'd be out of people by now because there's been an unbelievable amount of warfare in this area I've been calling the Highlands arena. So Northern Empire, Southern Empire are the two empires left. The Western Empire is gone. The Battanians are gone. So it's all the rest of the kingdom. Sturgia, Vlandia, the Khazate, Aserai, and what did I miss? Anyways, you guys get the idea. Down to, what, 6 kingdoms? And at this rate, the Northern Empire is cooked too, right? We've finally started to gain momentum. Let's cut down let's do some Baron York war crimes here. We've started to gain momentum here, and most importantly, we're not at war with everybody, right? When you're at war with one kingdom, it's a lot easier to make some hay. After this, we will clean out the rest of the Highlands arena, and then, you know, start looking at maybe our next kingdom to attack, right? It's Sturgia all around us. To the south is thick with the Aserai. In fact, I think I mentioned at the beginning of this episode that the Aserai were at war with the Northern Empire, which is part of the reason they're reeling. Here we go. Our enemies are bolstering their forces. Now, they never come out behind you, is what I noticed. They always come from outside. These are not, they're not like reinforcements from within the castle. Even though we're still cleaning the castle up here, these are reinforcements coming out into the valley. And sure enough, right, those guys are told to attack, and so they're eagerly running out there. Look like a bunch of dumbass militia charging out with their little sticks. Now, I have these archer divisions beautifully positioned, right? It's basically as soon as I see enough targets for us to kill, we're going to open fire here, right? We're done fucking around with this reinforcement system. Put a line of shield wall over there. We'll put a square on this right side. We've got elevated, pre-positioned archers. It's basically, you know, we've been there, done that. Fool me once, fool me twice, whatever the saying is. We're not going to be fooled anymore, right? We understand at least that this is a probability here. In fact, I'm still on horse, and you notice I kept my spear. That was intentional, right? We're going to fuck up some of these guys here. Even though I know some guys want me to use the crossbow, because of this reinforcement system, I just find myself a lot more effective on horse, even in siege. I can fly around here and cut down some of these guys. I can also do reconnaissance, right? Not only do you lead better, but you can get intel better, right? By riding around this horse, I can see what's going on. I can assess threats and decide whether or not we need to put more forces on our left or right. Right now, we're just kind of spread out because it doesn't look like a major reinforcement wave, but you just can't assume. I didn't actually see who it said joined. Oh shit, we got a problem here. These guys are having an issue with gravity. Oh shit, look at this guy falling. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Oh shit, he fucking ragdolled right in front of us. Alright, let's just figure out I can't tell what the division these guys are. Sorry, I gotta lighten this up. Okay, second division. You guys, let's just have these guys stand still. And then what we can do is I can bring them back in this city where they won't fucking die of gravity. I don't know why that happens, but they're fucking falling off the siege ladder. Now, we do have a lot of forces pouring in here. Is this Southern Empire? That looked like Southern Empire forces. Why would there be Southern Empire forces here? We're not at war with the Southern Empire. I don't think. Did something happen and I didn't notice it? Or maybe it was just the tint. I can't tell. It sure looked like Southern Empire. I think it was just the tint. All right, so Northern Empire cavalry are pouring in here. We're going to do a hybrid defense for the moment, but I might just pull everybody back in the city. This might turn into a defensive siege, like some of our other episodes here, right? This continues to be a really interesting dynamic here. It's not perfect, right? The AI is kind of buggy. This guy literally got stuck. It's kind of stuck like I am on these stairs, and the AI was like, I don't know what to do. I can't go anywhere. And it doesn't look like that many, but they are streaming in still. And the reinforcement system is more death by attrition. They just keep fucking coming. And because I didn't see who joined, I don't know how many troops are coming. Now, I can glance up at the power bar. You know, I'm trying not to mention it too much, but I'll do it this one time. We're still significantly favored over this army with the power bar. So, not to ruin all your fun, right? Things could change. More forces could come. But it seems like there's fucking purple here. I'm not colorblind. I swear there are fucking purple units here. It's not just the light. These guys are stuck, man. I'm sorry, I can't help you, fellas. There's for sure purple here. I don't know what's going on here. I don't remember there being war against the Southern Empire, but maybe it happened when I was involved in that chaos with all the fucking shit at this pre-siege here. There's a lot of crazy shit that happened at once. We had a battle against the Northern Empire, then the fucking militia popped up out of nowhere. Then all of a sudden the minor clan left us, and I swear it was instant. They left us, and then instantly they were part of our enemy, part of the Northern Empire. You almost never see that. In fact, I don't know if I've ever seen that before. And there's no mods. We're not using any mod. It's like called betrayal or something like that. We might as well be, because that is a serious betrayal here. Now, 690. We got to do a little ammo preservation here. We've got a Zerg of troops. It's kind of like, sit up in my chair for this. It's kind of like, bring this shit, right? Bring on more fucking enemies. We got a bunch of elite troops still. I've got so many troops, I'm not quite sure what to do with them. Some of them are just on ice over here, right? We've got our infantry units are 80%, 70% maybe. I wonder if Marco here is still alive, but Marco's a Patreon supporter. He's one of the guys who has his character named after him. Of course, if you want a character or a nemesis or whatever named after you, you can let me know. And the best way to get it, of course, if you want specifics especially, is a Patreon account, right? Join our Patreon. It's pretty damn cheap, fellas. A couple bucks. You get special videos. You get Keep Sieges nowhere that are not anywhere else on the channel, at least not yet. And you get previews of campaigns before anybody else, right? In fact, the first 10 episodes of this Vlandian campaign are only on our Patreon site. Now, there's definitely Southern Empire forces here with... Oh, shit. That was a lot of damage. Get hit in the axe right in the head. There's definitely Southern Empire forces still coming in here with the Northern Empire. So I'm going to stop talking about it. It's just the reality, right? I don't know how that's happening, but here we go. It's like the Empire is uniting here against us, right? The Empire strikes back. Now, I'm waiting for more troops to come in before we really start opening fire, because I don't know how many troops are coming, right? You gotta have some level of ammo preservation. At the same time, we can't just afford to get steamrolled here, right? We can't just have a 1-to-1 kill ratio. We've got to start having some higher levels of success here, otherwise we can lose. And man, would this be a hard one to lose. The city was almost ours. That's the sound of victory, right? The arrows starting to pepper the enemy. They're coming around the edges of that square and being shot to pieces. Oh, I'm already down to a quarter health. It's not good. It's carnage. Horses are dying. Troops are fighting everywhere. Arrows are flying through. There's rotten meat in the background. What division is this? Let's get a 7th stretched out in a shield wall. We'll have to fix them in a second. Shield wall for archers is nice because you can get more firepower into a smaller area. I really got to watch my health. I see you coming, motherfucker. They hit shield on back. How did it hit my shield? I fucking blocked it. Alright, that's working okay. And I'm just going to pull these guys back from time to time. These guys attacking. I want them to be able to attack from time to time when the enemy's in here thick, but we want the lanes open for our archers. Now this 7th division here, we need to straighten these guys out. Do it. Well, I must have had the wrong division. You say line formation and then hold, and now fire, and every single guy has line of sight. It's savage. Let's tuck this shield wall right against the wall there. That way all those archers can shoot. Move these guys back a little bit. I like what I'm seeing there. God, it's high-end troops here. Legionary, elite cataphrag. That's a lot of cavalry, too. Stomping through our units. But we've got some nice squares, so they're running into our squares and getting butchered. The archers are shooting. I like what I see. And there's no carnage like this, there's no chaos like this anywhere else in Bannerlord without this mod. This singular mod just makes for unbelievably chaotic and wonderful battles. There are archers trying to come in and shoot us that are getting smoked in the face. Kill this guy. Fiend champs just sitting there waiting to get their shot. Let's cut some of these guys down. He didn't like that very much. He's after me now. He's like, you fucker, I'll kill you. They always have a deep voice. They're like, fire away. Keep that. I want that door open so they come through and get shot, but I gotta have these squares nearby. You've gotta have the ability to shut the door, right? If all of a sudden 50 or 100 troops pour through and you don't have a square at the ready, you're caught with your pants down. Let's get these guys backed out as well. Second division. Cavalry still pouring through, but it's a trickle, right? At this stage, we can handle a trickle. As long as it doesn't turn to a flood, we should be able to continue to make this work our way. I don't know how these guys got so scrambled. It looks like a big giant mess here. I'm trying to juggle which units have ammo, and we're probably going to have to move these guys from time to time because they got, you know, a rock in their way and stuff like that. I have been asked a lot to do the scatter around mod. I think it'd be way too chaotic in this instance to do it. That's something, again, we will continue to explore. I have the inner workings of a mod, not a mod, of an episode covering it. It's going to be part of some other mod episodes, but it's very rough right now. I really haven't done it to what I consider an acceptable level for the channel. Now they're starting to pour through here. These guys are just starting to stack up here. You guys all die. Baron York still has I have a 9th of my health bar, right? Let's wade in here. No fear. Yeah, we're faster than your polearm there, dude. And then we're gonna eat your body organs. Oh shit, that one hit me right on top of the head. It says the abdomen, but that was a headshot. Well, I wish I had half a health bar because I need it to wade in here, but it doesn't mean we're just gonna chicken out, right? Baron York he might be a lot of bad words, but coward he is not, right? This guy is, and of course we're role playing, but playing this guy, I just fucking play with my hair on fire. Fuck it. Much more entertaining too, anyways. Who wants to play the coward too in a video game? I might be afraid of like a grizzly bear or a great white shark or something like that, but in a video game, I'm always gonna play the fucking reckless maniac. Well, I don't have much help here. There's not a ton of troops out there. It looks like maybe 200 or 300, 400. But there's a lot, right? And unfortunately, they're kind of trickling through here. I say unfortunately because it's actually bad for our archers. Our archers are shooting 20 arrows at each guy that comes through. Look at these guys. That's beautiful. These guys are shooting through the little windows there. And the fact that we're wasting ammo on 5 guys at a time is actually to a detriment, right? A lot of our tactics and strategies on the channel revolve around mass firing of archers. Well, usually into a packed mass of enemy troops where we can't miss. Here we're missing. And not only that, but cavalry running around spearing our guys. The death spam looks really good. It's just a question of how long we can sustain this. And how long I can stay alive with 0 health. Maybe I got 1 hit point. 1 hit point's enough. Baron York, fuck it. Look, it's just running over our peasants, these fucking cavalry. If I get charged again, I might go down. Did 1 blunt damage. We're on our feet still, but man, we are on life support. Veritable life support. Yeah, see, this is a big wave right here. I've got to help. Let's charge with some units here. I've got this 8th division. I don't really want to have everybody charge. We'll periodically charge with some of the units. This is chaos. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. We're going to tear some limbs. These bitch-ass Northern Empire units. Love this slow-mo, dude. Oh, fucking beautiful. It's like a sequence of slow-mo. To hell with you, the Baron goes beast mode. Just kills everybody. They're starting to really come through that front gate. We're attacking right now, though. So it's difficult to get a high kill ratio. You can see the red, right? Our guys are not going to be able to get a 4-to-1 kill ratio fighting in the gatehouse. Almost out of ammo with the 5th division. This is a problem, right? Oh shit, nice job on that horse, boys. Excellent. I taught them that. All right, we got a little bit of breach here, but we can attack them from behind with the 2nd and 3rd Division, let in 20 or 30 troops here, and then flank the shit out of them from behind. I've still got a small 2nd Division here. We're starting to split units because we're in a little bit of triage mode. We still have a lot of units, but it's starting to get a little bit tenuous. There's a lot of guys still back there that can't shoot. There's heads laying on the ground. Maybe if we reorder some of these lines, sometimes guys could shoot. They have ammo, but they don't have line of sight. Let's see if that helps that archer line. That square there's being pounded on. The thing is, if squares don't have help, they just stand there and get killed, right? I see you coming for me, motherfucker. He didn't see me coming, though. Peripheral vision definitely helps. We're playing on a huge monitor for this series. I've got like a 34-inch ultra-wide, whatever, curved fucking something or other. It's a fancy monitor. I'm an old guy, right? When you young guys get older, you'll be able to afford this shit. And it helps a lot, man. Not only do I have 4K graphics, but I have really good peripheral vision, and this wraparound monitor, I see the corner of the battle. Right? I see the edges of the tail, whatever it's called. Basically, I can see the very tail of the battle on the side of me here. I was really good at sports because I had really good side-to-side periphery. Ironically, I have really bad up-down periphery. It's literally the way my head is built. I actually had a guy talk about it who had done a little bit of college basically on different face shapes and stuff like that. He actually just ran a few basic tests just standing in our kitchen one time, and he was like, yeah, you've got exceptional peripheral vision. It's unusual, but because I have this really pronounced upper brow, a very strong cheek brow or occipital brow or something like that, I don't see up, which means I bang the fuck out of my head a lot. I'm just going to keep talking here as I fight with no health against the whole fucking world. You guys bring it, right? We're just going to rage in this episode. Now, I've still got to be careful, but I can still cut some of these guys down, especially when they don't look. Don't look, dude, you get killed. That's right, you attack over there, being champ. This is amazing. I mean, I've had no health now for a while. 7th Division is there. It still looks good, right? We've still got a square over there. There's a bunch of guys in the 7th, 5th, and 8th. This square is starting to get pounded on, too. They're starting to bring archers up and shoot at us, which is a major problem, because we don't have ammo. Remember, in a siege defense, you get unlimited ammo. But we're attacking here. This feels like a siege defense, but in case you've forgotten, it was so long ago, this was a siege assault. Now, the daylight looks like it hasn't changed much, but it won't be surprise me at all if it's dark here soon. Right, we do have the time pass mod. The time continues to run in the game. And man, I'm just bobbing and weaving and killing. And he's groaning. He sounds like an idiot. I mean, we're holding, but man, you can hear the footprints outside, the footsteps, right? I don't know if you guys ever noticed that. When the enemy rushes up a huge amount of troops, the game does a really good job. It gets louder, I think, when they get closer, or there's a lot of them. So in this instance, I can hear that it looks like archers are moving up, and I can't really run in there, right? I'll get shot and killed for sure. So let's get some attack dogs over here, right? We've got to attack these archers in the gatehouse. They're shooting our guys. We don't have ammo. I'm really kind of low on options here. This, of course, I can hear some guys saying, see, you should have a crossbow. You should have a crossbow. Yeah, but it's not like one guy with a crossbow. I'm going to kill 200 guys here. I really need some archers with ammo. Of course, we're not getting it, right? It's not like we get reinforcements in this battle. Now, we could have ally reinforcements outside, right? I'm kind of hoping, cautiously hoping that suddenly, all of a sudden it says, well, it won't be Aserai, but somebody has your back, right? And they rush in with 800 Vlandian heavy horsemen. We have a giant outside battle, seesaw back and forth. But until that happens, right, we've just got to continue to cycle charge here, try to get line of sight for the handful of archers like this guy next to me to get just a little bit of line of sight. I don't know what that guy was shooting at. He didn't kill anything. But these cycle charges right here, this is not a winning recipe, right? Otherwise, I would just F1, F3. We're not going to be able to win this siege just by charging. We're going to have to continue to do tactics here. And that, that includes fighting where we have the advantage inside the courtyard. Still alive here with no health. It's amazing. Some guys are like, all right, every 6 months or so, guys are, hey, you're using cheat codes. Your character's invincible. Trust me, we're not invincible. They watch like one episode. They watch a battle like this, and they're like, your character can't be killed. And I'm like, well, I'm fucking dodging and shit, motherfucker. I'm experienced. If you get experienced too, you should be able to do this. It's frustrating to still hear that shit. Your character's unkillable. Yeah. Go back to the grouchy life you live, man. I don't want to hear it. Do some more splitting here. I get a little bodyguard division. I'm starting to feel really vulnerable at both squares. We're going to have to start using crossbows for these squares. And they function just fine, right? It's going to work, but I've got to have enough units attacking still, right? If I have 80% of our army on defense, we can't win. Oh, shit. Well, where's that guy saying I can't die, right? I think I just got ran over by a horse. And that was it. At least this guy can shoot. I hate his zoom. It's like this mega zoom. Hey, wait. Let's use her. This is an archer, and she won't have that mega zoom here. So let's little finagling here. Hopefully you guys don't mind. We got to find an arrow barrel here. She's out of ammo, but she's got a good bow. She's got a hammer. So it's, you know, it's sort of like Baron York. And once we find an arrow barrel here, now we got the best of both worlds, right? She'll be able to shoot. We'll be able to attack her with her melee weapon. And just somehow pulled this siege out. Where the fuck are the arrow barrels? Man, we've had this problem before. There's no arrow barrels. It's like their siege weapons destroyed them. Are they laying on the ground? All the pieces? Do I have to go pick up arrows laying on the ground? The whole city has no arrow barrels. Man. I think this only happens in sieges like this where the city is pounded. Now, we're the ones that have been pounding it. Of course, we've been pounding it before the battle. We blew these walls up. And then obviously, I guess we destroyed all the arrow barrels here. This is fucking bizarre. I mean, so much for... See? There's no point in having a crossbow unit in this in this castle defense. Those guys a second ago were smug. They were like, yeah, you see, you need your crossbow. There isn't any fucking ammo. We still got 150, 200 troops here, maybe. And you just, you know, anytime you could see, you know, the enemy is fleeing, right? They've just had enough. I mean, we have been pounding on this enemy for a long time. Now we're going to be literally pounding on him. And pound him over the head. Die, you pig! We're going to level up some of these characters. Yeah, they are bringing archers in. The good news is I might be able to kill one of these guys and get their quiver, right? They'll drop arrows. It seems like the only way I can get ammo. Now, you can't get it if they're using their melee weapon, right? Because, of course, you get whatever their weapon they were using, right? If it's someone who has a polearm and a sword and they're swinging... Shit, she got killed fast. Someone smoked her. Well, they're shooting at us. This fucking fiend champ's at the door. We're going to have to charge. You can't just have fiend champs just smoking your whole army. I've got this little pathetic archer. Damn it. Help me out here. I'm fighting a fucking tier 6 to the death. I still have no arrows. There's no arrow barrels in the whole city. Fuck it. F1, F3. We're swinging our hatchet here. Just rout, you fuckers. Of course, they're like the Terminator. They just won't die. Kill this guy. This is unreal. Well, we are straight out charged now. Like, we're running out of tactics. We're running out of ammo here. Oh, there we go. Nice shot, dude. In fact, let's take this guy here. A little finagling. This guy's got ammo, right? We've got a polearm, and he's got some crossbow ammo. I wonder if he hit the crossbow barrel I never found. He's got 27 crossbow bolts. We'll be able to... Oh, shit. He'll probably get killed trying to use his crossbow. He loads really slow. I might be better off just using his polearm. But we are down to a bad situation here. We're fighting in the gatehouses. We might have 50 in each gatehouse here trying to stop this enemy from getting into the city. There's still a few archers shooting. In fact, one of our companions is shooting. Let's stand over here next to me. Let's gather this girl up here. We'll have our little sturdy archer division at the end of this battle. Get over here. What division are you? 5, 6, 7? Come here. Yeah. All right, you stand here. Enemies forcing their way through this door here. We've got 12 archers. Now the cavalry just burst a hole. Fuck. This is a lot of troops. And he gets waxed. Now we're in a gatehouse, the other gatehouse with a companion. It's amazing these companions lasted this long. They lasted to the very end. She is beyond pathetic. Insta-killed. And we're pretty fucked. We are in the gatehouse, surrounded by heavy cavalry and banner knights trying to poke us in the face here. And all I have is like the most inept unit. What the fuck damage is this? This guy's doing 1 and 4. It must be just his handling of weapons is bad or something. It's almost like this guy's nerfed. What is he swinging? Is he swinging a rubber mallet? 26, that's not horrible. This is amazing. 8-3. This is a sergeant, I'm sure of it. And he's like the weakest sergeant ever. This is why we lose this battle. I mean, at this stage, unless we get last-second reinforcements, this fucking battle is over. He's 6 and 4. I don't understand what I'm seeing here. It's really weird. I wonder if our units are nerfed somehow or something. Or the enemy just, I mean, 7 and 4. Maybe you guys can answer in the comments why that's happening. That's really strange. I got another sergeant here. He's doing normal damage, 30, 21. It was like that one guy. I wonder if he somehow picked up some weapon by accident. Whatever the case, I mean, we're going to fight to the death here in this heroic last stand. But another calamitous defeat is likely. Right? I don't know if the enemy has 100 troops or 500, but we can't win. And we're cut down and not really any point at this stage, right? And just zoom out, and yeah, there's a huge horde. They have cavalry, they have tons of infantry, the gates are clogged, and it's defeat. And those of you who watch, you know, just to celebrate endless positive victories, well, I would say, I guess I'll say sorry, right, if you're here for that. But, you know, we've said from the outset of this campaign that you're about to watch one of the gnarliest, difficult campaigns in Bannerlord on YouTube. I think we've given all the evidence of that for sure. Another defeat here. Incredibly, no deaths, despite all the different participants in that battle. And we're going to wrap this episode up as some sort of mournful music plays here. Baron York captured again, thrown into the garrison at Car Banseth, and a recovery again. Right now, the good news is we did stock up quite a bunch of troops that round at Tyrby Castle. We also have Ox Hall, right? So there's going to be a quick recovery process. I'm tending to not show these recoveries. I've shown a few of them, sort of some of the baseline parts of it, but you guys understand, right? You run around, you grab some recruits over here, you pick up some mercenary forces over there, you fight some battles you can win, you start to upgrade, you get some influence. We still have 180 influence, so we're going to be able to recover real quick here. But we need more help, right? We can't take cities when the only reinforcements are enemies. And for some reason, Southern Empire enemies. Now, I don't see any on the map right here, but that'll be interesting to see or try to understand why that happened. All right, so we're going to wrap this episode up. Of course, if you want to see more from this crazy, wild, epic, eclectic, gnarly campaign, you want to subscribe. There will be a finish to this, fellas, on some kind of level, right? Whether Baron York gets executed and rounded up by the enemy here, or, you know, we stand victorious at the end of the day. You're going to have to just watch and see. What I can promise you, though, is you will continue to get authentic, genuine play where you never know what's going to happen, right? We're not going to reload battles and stuff like that. If Baron York gets killed, he gets killed, right? If his kids get killed, they get killed. So we're going to continue to roll on here, have some gnarly twists along the way, and hopefully it's fun for all. That was certainly fun for me, despite the loss, and hopefully, despite that loss, you guys are going to stay with us. So, with all that said, of course, leave any comments or criticism you might have. Baron York, you suck. With all that said, friends, I will see you next time.